So Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the GS Audio GT12X, which is a revised version of the non-X, just the GT12. They do have the same amount of drivers, so 12 balanced armatures per side, which is, you know, quite a feat. But anyway, as usual, full disclaimer is I bought this myself from the GS Audio AliExpress store. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own as per usual. And yeah, let's just get to what's inside the case. So as usual, they just come with this. They only come with a box just to help it, you know, for kind of transportation. So you get this case. And I'll also add in the description the actual specs of these, the you know, impedance, sensitivity, everything like that. Obviously there's a sneak kind of peek. I've been using these, but this is what my pair look like. These are the default setup. So it's kind of like, looks like marble, like blue marble. Obviously it's all clear there. The BAs there. A crazy amount of BAs, and obviously there's the actual crossover. That's the right one. There's the fin. Take this off. Obviously you can have these customized. You can even have a metal nozzle, but I didn't choose to have that. 3 balls there. And that's that. So obviously here's the left one. Again, blue marble, default setting. Also to note is if you want a pair of these, you have to order it through the GT12 link on AliExpress, and then you have to tell them you want the X model. There seems to be a problem, they said, but anyway, that's it. So here's the cable. I'll have a good look at this obviously in the next clip, but it should be the same as the actual GD5 I have. Should be the same cable. Comes with medium tips fitted, but there's some more quite wide bore tips and a brush. So yeah, in the next clip I'll have a look at the cable, but I think it's exactly the same as the GD5. So yeah, it is exactly the same cable as the GD5. Metal, seems really solid build. Obviously it's only 3-pole because it's no mic, strain relief there. It's a cable I'm quite happy with. I think there's a couple of kinks that will have to be through use, so hopefully get straightened out. But I think this is an 8 core cable as well. So there's a wide split, metal splitter, works very well, or chin slider, works perfectly fine. So this one is L, so that's left. Obviously that would sit inside because that's how it fits around your left ear. And yeah, so it's exactly the same as the GD5. Again, I didn't really have any issues. Again, you can always cable swap for balanced if you want to do anything like that, but if you use 3.5 like I do most of the time, this should be fine. So yeah, I'm going to put some hours on these, and then yeah, let's get on to the actual review in the future. So on to the review of the actual GT12X. I'm going to show it the like first. As you can see, the build quality is actually very good. All those balanced armatures, they do look very impressive. Again, build quality is very, very good, as you can see. It's very good to have so many BAs. It's very pleasing. But anyway, so let's get on to fit and comfort. I found the fit and comfort was pretty good, but seats quite large here around the top part. Now I had to take them out after a while, put them back in, because I was getting like slight fatigue, shall we say, around the top. But it depends. Everybody's got different anatomy. Apart from that, they're actually very good. Again, the fin may affect you, but I didn't really have any issues with the actual fin part there. But yeah, you can see 3 balls there. And that's what mine look like. You can see like it's a blue marble kind of finish, and I think they're really good. Again, build quality is really good. Let's go on to isolation. Isolation on these is very good because they are essentially a sealed unit. As you can see, being an RBA unit, they're essentially sealed. So that's what it looks like. So yeah, good, no problem at all. So sensitivity and powering them, again, they are quite easy to power. It does help if you give them a clean kind of source, does help. But I've tried this on a multiple of my adapters, again with no issues, and I'm a topping L30 on low gain, you know, fine, no issues at all. So let's get on to Soundstage. Nice 3D presentation. Surprisingly, I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, good 3D presentation, was quite good. So let's go on to details. I thought the micro details was quite good. Not the best out there, but obviously not the worst, because you got so many drivers in there. I kind of expected them to be decent, and they are. Again, they're not the best I've tried, but they're not too bad. Not too bad at all. One negative I'll get out of the way is the actual the timbre. You can tell you get the BA timbre with it. If you've tried Blessing 2 Dusk or Blessing 2, you'll know what I mean. There's a bit of that timbre. It's not too bad, but there's a bit to it. Some people may not notice it, but some people might. So just one thing to bear to bear in mind. So yeah, what we're here for, sound. So now I'm going to overlay the graph. As usual, as I normally disclaim, is mine as a roll off in the sub bass. So like anything below 60 and under, typically 50, 60 down, you know, it should be at least closer to the 65 on that graph, but just to bear that in mind. So yeah, so bass is elevated. These are not bass monsters, it's an RBA. It's quality bass because I use, I think, going from the advertising materials, there is a Knowles and a Sonian drivers for low frequencies, and they are pretty good. Just don't expect a thick bass, because they don't have that. They do have a bit. It's very quality textured bass with fast decay. Really nice low end. If you're a bass head, these probably aren't for you. Yeah, so bass, not much to say really. I was quite happy with it. Very clean. So mids is, again, it has a small elevation. You can see from the bottom. It's not much, but it's enough to give you enough warmth to the natural lower mids. Again, I'm quite happy with it. These are different to the GT12s, but I'll do a different video comparing them, and probably the GD5. I'll do a little GS Audio comparison video, but again, I'll talk about that when I do that. So mids, again, very good. The gain is gradual, which is what I like, so they don't sound shouty or anything like that. Really nice mids, personally, for what I like. Again, no issues. Everything sounded like it's supposed to. It sounded as, I can't say it sounds natural, because it's dynamic drivers typically sound natural, but for balanced armatures, it sounds as real as it can do, which is a good compliment. Again, I'm very happy with the low end and the mids. So yeah, treble, again, other people have graphed these and they seem to look darker than my set. My set, from what I've seen, seem to graph closer to the official graphs, and they're normally quite accurate. Again, I had no real issues with treble. Compared to the non-X model, which I had before this is more consistent in the treble. There is a peak, as you can see, between 5 to 6K. Sometimes you might notice that, sometimes you don't. But the treble sounds, I was quite happy with it. They kind of got it kind of right. Some people might like more, some people might like less, but the treble I was perfectly fine with it. Everything was there like it's supposed to be. I prefer it over my non-X, but again, I will do a separate video for that. Obviously, there's a peak 8K, but that's the coupler. There's no real 8K because you can always tell. Like obviously before this video, I did the ZEX Pro for KZ. That had a real peak in the area. This doesn't. Obviously you can see on the graph there is a peak just like 5.5. Sometimes you notice, sometimes you don't. I personally didn't have any issues with that. That may just be me, and obviously then the treble starts to roll off. Obviously beyond 10k, this coupler is not classed as accurate over 10, so bear that in mind. But treble was fine, instrument separation was fine. Again, I didn't really have any issues with the treble. Treble was actually fine, and it was not fatiguing, which is kind of key. And yeah, not much to say really. So here they are. I was quite happy with these. The tuning on these I think is more balanced and consistent over my non-X, but I'm only going from over what my pairs here compared to the ones I've had before. Obviously there's unit variants, but I have no control of that. I only can review what I have, which is obviously these two. I'm quite happy with these. They kind of performed kind of what I expected. Again, like I said before, mine graph quite similar to the official graph that's in the promotion. That was actually emailed. That was actually sent to me in a message, because obviously there's no store link. Well, yeah, compared to the official link image, mine do graph kind of close. I'm quite happy with these. They're not amazing pair of in-ear monitors because there's a lot of competition from themselves. Plus I've got like the Manga T's and other things like that. But for my pair, I'm happy with these. I prefer them over the older, well, 5 months, the older non-X model, which is the same driver count. I think the tuning is a little bit better. It's just more consistent and more balanced into representation. And yeah, obviously we all like different music, so I don't typically mention music, like, because somebody might like rock, metal, somebody might like trance, EDM, pop music, jazz, classical, blah blah blah. There's so many different genres, but I've tried this on average with a variety, and it seems to work actually fine. I was quite happy with it. It does what it's supposed to. It's not perfect, but then again, it is. I think these are $250, which is not cheap. But then there's a mixture of they call it the custom models, which is either Bell, Sing or another brand, Knowles and Sonian. So there is some quality drivers in there. I'm quite happy with them. Like I said before, the build is really high quality, as you can see. Yeah, I'm quite happy with them. Again, just don't expect perfection, but mine do sound like how they're supposed to sound, is probably the best way to describe it. But yeah, as usual, if you want to know anything, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching and take care.